Hmm.
You're not
Yes.
from there originally, right?
No, I am from here. I
You
mean,
are from LA,
born.
California. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Have you, and you've lived all over some, I know because we had a chat a while back about
Yeah,
that. You've been a
exactly.
little bit everywhere.
My family's here. My roots have always been LA. So I've
And your
got,
husband is from the East Coast. I think he's actually in my state.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. He's from
yeah. Virginia, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom. And I know you are an amazing singer and songwriter and artist in your own right. And yet, this really is more about women using their voice to live true to themselves. So not shutting down that voice, because I think, at least in my past, that's the first thing that would get shut down. I wouldn't speak for fear of offending someone. When it came down to a relationship, there was a little bit of, can be some self-worth issues, can be some insecurity and confidence. But when you tap into the power of your voice, it changes everything. And it goes way beyond singing or even speaking. It's about honoring yourself, I think.
Mhm.
So to me, you embody that beautifully.
Oh,
And
thank
you
you.
stay the course. You do what you feel is right in your heart and you live true. And it's this beauty that just keeps radiating from you. And I just love it. So that's why I asked
That's
you to
so
join
nice
me
of you.
for
Thank
a
you.
little bit. So you can, there's no structure here as far as what you want to share. I was just thinking maybe if, as an artist, maybe talk a little bit about your path as an artist, as a singer, what singing means to you, how that has kind of rippled out into being true to yourself. And if you've got any thoughts on how the voice plays a part in your level of happiness, your quality of your relationships that are based on love and mutual respect and nothing else.
Hmm.
We could go on for on. We'll keep it short and concise.
Yeah,
Whatever
really
you
good. There's
got.
so many levels to it. It's
Right.
and they're always learning more. I mean, I have to say, like, I'm still working on identifying my truth so that I can speak it, because I think that sometimes we get so used to shutting that voice down that we don't even know how to identify it. We don't know what it is that we're even not saying, or
Mhm.
that we're not really even giving truth to, because we're so used to pleasing or whatever, we might don't want to cause any ripples. So, I mean, I'll just start off by saying that's something I'm still always am working on, and quickly identifying what do I need,
What do
what
you?
am I not saying, and I think just having the tools of how to connect to your voice and what it feels like to connect to your truth and your voice through that gives you something to compare it to, so that feeling of, oh, I'm not in my truth right now, I'm not speaking up, and I know that if I don't, how it's going to make me feel.
Exactly.
um,
So do you ever have any, like for me, I mean, I'll actually feel some constriction in my throat, or like of some clearing when I know that I'm just kind of, I haven't spoken up and I should have. Do you ever have any, do you ever know what to look for? Do you ever feel like any anxiety, your stomach starts to get off,
yeah, I mean, anxiety, I feel really mad at myself, which, that just that feeling of like the weight of, I'm I can do better than this, like, why am I not
better
speaking
than
back,
this?
and like getting over that hump. But I feel like once you've done it and you kind of keep practicing that muscle, it gets easier. And sometimes it's hard to know how to practice that muscle without having some tools, without really, because just kind of knowing where to locate your voice so that you can speak up, or knowing what it feels like when you release what your truth is, then it gives you inspiration to kind of follow through on that later, I find.
So true. So true. One of my programs from last year, I would say, and I use this a lot with my clients, is that I found that just by saying something that feels brave to say out
Mhm.
loud to someone, preferably, it doesn't have to be the object of maybe your dissatisfaction, but you know what I'm saying, giving voice to something that feels really brave to say. I tell you what, things just start to kind of like a chiropractic adjustment. Everything
Yeah.
starts to move and doors open that were previously closed. And I can't stress that enough. And as women, I think, and especially as artists, especially in music and being the nice people that we are,
Yeah.
we carry a lot.
Yeah.
You know, you're a sensitive soul. I'm a sensitive soul. I mean, we're receptive to how people feel. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I think most people feel that way. But at the same time, sometimes that's just inevitable. Can you recall a time in your past that, you know, speaking your truth just wasn't going to go well, but it actually ended up being the best for everybody?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of a lot of those periods, and it took me a little time, but I knew, like, if I don't speak up, in my relationship, in the beginning of my relationship, for sure, there were a couple of episodes where I felt like I need to make sure that I'm setting this relationship up, with a strong foundation. And if I just let this go, I don't actually speak up on what I need or what's coming up for me, then I'm not going to be setting this up on a foundation that can move forward with, clarity. And I do that. I still come up against it all the time in work, in business,
So not just
especially
with men,
working.
relationships with men and women and everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, yeah, your relationships, your working relationships, understanding like what's professional. Can I speak up here? Do I do it now? Do I wait? And how do I navigate those waters gracefully and also still say what I need to say? And that is always a challenge for me, and something that I, really, but you feel so proud of yourself when you do it. And you
Yes,
also, you're taking
absolutely.
care of yourself, you're taking care of your family, you're taking care of your health. But I didn't come from a place of doing that. That was definitely a lot of work that went into being somebody that would speak up. And
At what age do you feel like that it started to become noticeably more important to you? That you started to realize, hey, I've really shut this down as part of my voice, and I can see it rippling out into my life. Can you remember about what age range things just started? For me, gosh, I'm embarrassed to say how old it was when that finally came up. That, wow, you mean I spent most of my adult life?
yeah, it's not very long ago.
Yeah, really, like this is last month. I'm still working on it, really, but
Yeah, no, it's so true. I'm so hot. Hold on one second. Let me just put on this fan here and see if I can not be sweating.
oh no, you got the hormone thing going on.
I know, it's crazy. I was like so cool. Now I'm so hot. Yes, for me, I think I got really sick. And I just was like, spent like a year being sick, being like low emotionally, just really going through the dark times and not sure like how to put the pieces together. And so really had to start at the foundation of putting boundaries around, how far am I willing to bend, or how much am I willing to carry of everybody else's, because I'm not willing to confront them or willing to speak up for what I need. So I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to get really sick and heavy and low because I'm overwhelmed and overloaded by keeping it all together for everyone. And I think it was more just like I had to start speaking up. I had to look for other tools. I had to look outside myself because what I was doing wasn't working. And if I wanted to survive and have a successful life, I needed to figure something else out.
I love that you put it in exactly those words. And I see that all the time too. It was my path too. It's like you get to a point, and it can be a very physical manifestation, and it all stems from your voice, from living it your truth. I love how you put that, and I love that that you found it, and boy, did you find it. I mean, I haven't known you that long. It's only been about a year, but all the change just in the past year, all these magical things are just lining up for you at the same time, in your career and your artistry and your baby and your marriage in the south of France. And I mean, does it feel like it's just surreal, like a magical time, or you're just kind of doing your thing and just, wow, okay, I'm on for the ride.
Like, wow. I mean, it feels like a wild ride.
Yeah.
It feels like I really have gone through some dark times, So it's almost like you don't trust it. You're like, oh, things can be this good. Are you sure? So I just keep showing up like 3,000% to make sure that I really deserve it, and that like I'm really like I've got it. Because it does. It feels so magical and so incredible to see like I decided to show up in a new way, and this is how it's this is unfolding for me because I showed up differently in my relationship. I showed up differently for my career. And I had to change all those habits, and that's not easy, but
no, it's not, but you did it.
yeah. I mean, I'm still working on it, like we all are.
Yeah, you're right. We all are, and things are evolving. So, what are you moving into in 2018? Do you see yourself offering, obviously, the music, and you're working with Catch the Moon, an awesome licensing agency, actually vice president of that now, which is wonderful. So, you're going to be offering anything else where people can work with you, or to tell us what you got going on that you want people to know about, and I'll post links as well.
Okay. Well, 2018, I'm having a baby. So that's the way that starts.
That's a big deal, I know.
And I'm starting a new podcast. So that's really exciting. I feel really excited by this because it's kind of bringing in everything from all sides of what I do. As an artist, as a VP of a company, as somebody who teaches. It will allow me to share all of those different perspectives and bring a lot of different people in to interview. And
what's the name of the podcast?
Well, I think it's going to be called "Don't Keep Your Day Job: The Music Edition."
Awesome.
So it'll be like a more focused version, but we are just working that out.
Right.
So we'll see.
Exciting.
That's exciting. That's definitely 2018.
Awesome.
Full force. And then we've got new classes that we just opened. And we're always, here at Catch the Moon, like looking for new ways to kind of share what we're learning. And we're always learning. And by me, I mean Kathy and I, I'm always trying to figure out what else is there to learn about and how else can we like give that to the world.
And especially, like with the 6-figure course was great. I'm in that course. I was in that course, and actually in the Access course, you really do an amazing job of getting very clear on what people are really looking for and giving it to them. You're solving a problem, which is always going to keep you in business because you're solving a problem instead of just teaching this is how you do it. You've kind of done that, but people want, and indie artists, they want access to the people that make decisions in sync licensing, ad placement, and you're actually bringing that forward without promising, oh, this is a guarantee, this is going to happen, whatever. You're opening a door that is really hard to open, and you're doing it in a way that everybody feels comfortable and where you're just dealing with a human being on the other side of the screen. It's all about relationships anyway.
Yeah.
And you guys do a really great job. I've been really impressed with what you brought on board so far. I mean, it's just kudos. Very, very good. So anybody who's thinking about joining the Access program, I hope that they take a look. I'll post a link. Is it still, I think it might be closed though right now, isn't it?
It is at this very moment, but we'll be opening it again soon. So
okay, so you'll open it again. So it's okay if I post a link to Access. Awesome.
All right. Accesscourse.com. Yeah, I'm really excited about it because I feel like it's really word I'm looking for, encompassing. It really kind of covers a lot, and we are able to kind of offer a lot. And so next year, it's like we'll see what is needed, and then I'll figure that out. But right now, the podcast is definitely going forward, and the Access course, and there may be some other things that I find need something.
Do you see maybe in the future that you might, obviously, when your little darling arrives, it's who knows, but as far as doing something on your own?
Well, I think what I want to do on my own is just my music.
Just your music, yeah.
So I've got so much going on business-wise that music-wise, that's my next big thing is creating. I'm always creating music, but creating something that really feels like you know, when you were just an artist struggling, and what were those songs that you would write without any outside influence, you know, just something that really I want to take some time to get back into, like what is it that I need to say, and to release a record around that. So next year, that's also the goal, is to release an EP that feels like Sonnet's EP. It's been a while since that's come out, since anything's come out. So
it'd be interesting to see what happens to your music after you have your little girl, right? You're having a little girl? Yes.
mm-hmm.
I don't know, for me, you know, I had kind of put all this on the back burner for a long time. And then after Balin was born, it was just something about the creativity just kind of, just everything just kind of amped up. Of course,
Wow.
rule, baby. But, you know, everything just kind of got amped up. So I would think it'll be interesting to see how your songwriting changes. I imagine things are just
Really
going to get
exciting. I can't wait to see.
shimmery and just really, I don't know, I've heard that from more than one person. So
Yeah, no, I've actually heard that too. And so that's exciting. I feel like, you know, as you're getting ready, you're just like, what needs to get done? What, hustle, hustle, hustle to the very end. And then I can imagine on the other side, you just have no idea. I have no idea what will unfold, what will bloom from that.
the most wonderful thing. Truly, I'm excited for you.
So
Thank you
here.
so much. I will post links in this post, and I cannot wait to see what the next several months hold for you. And you have been so gracious to take your time and spend with Our Ladies. So thank you so much.
Oh, of course. It's so my pleasure. Thank you. Bye.